Guys, this week on Bear Archery's Hunting 101, I've got an incredibly special guest. I've got Rhett Walker. If you listen to any kind of Christian music, you are probably familiar with Rhett Walker and his music. He is a phenomenally funny guy. He's a good old down-home Southern boy who likes to be in the outdoors and hunt. We have a blast talking about how much I dislike turkey hunting and how much he dislikes whitetail hunting. It's an absolute blast. I'm also joined with one of my personal good friends, one of my personal hunting buddies, Mr. Nick Layton. And the three of us just kind of talk about what we like about certain styles of hunting and what we don't like about other styles of hunting. The consensus of the entire episode is this: hunt the way you like. Hunt the things you like. If you don't like whitetail hunting, that's perfectly fine. There is something for you. If you don't like turkey hunting, that is perfectly fine. There is something for you. We talk about the wide variety of different kind of hunting you can do, from bow fishing all the way to bear hunting. We talk about it all, and we talk about just finding something that you enjoy doing in the great outdoors in a way you enjoy doing it with people you enjoy doing it with. Guys, it's a phenomenally fun episode, and it's just going to encourage you to get out there and enjoy the great outdoors. Guys, as always, this episode is presented by our good friends over at ScentLock. As you gear up for turkey season, Blocker just came out with a new turkey line, and it is phenomenal. If you're a turkey hunter, you must check it out. I would highly, highly encourage you to find a dealer, try it on, order some, buy some. It is phenomenal turkey hunting gear. But guys, thank you so much for listening. I am excited to jump into this one.
Welcome to Bear Archery's Hunting 101 podcast, where hunters new and old come to learn and find inspiration from stories of hunts gone by. Everyone is welcome to enjoy the outdoor way of life, and there is no better time to start than right now. So let's head into the great outdoors with your host, Dylan Ray.
Guys, if you're a traditional archer and you have not checked out Three Rivers Archery, what are you waiting for? Three Rivers Archery is your one-stop shop for all things traditional archery. They have the largest in-stock selection of traditional archery equipment anywhere. Same-day shipping, very, very, very knowledgeable. Listen, I use Three Rivers all the time. If I've got a question on tuning, if I've got a question on broadheads, if I've got a question on brace height or anything like that, I use Three Rivers for everything. They know the products because they use the products. Three Rivers Archery is by far the gold standard when it comes to traditional archery. So guys, if you're just getting into traditional archery, I would encourage you to use Three Rivers as a resource for knowledge and understanding and growing and learning, and as a place to get all those products that you're going to be needing as you take this journey. So, Rhett, tell me about your start to hunting. Where'd you get your intro to hunting at?
Oh, dang, man. So that would probably be 8, 9 years old, I think, maybe. My first bit of hunting was deer hunting. And my dad and my grandpa, they loved to deer hunt. And that was the only hunting I knew, for the longest time. And when I became maybe 13, 14, something around there, that's when I was like, man, deer hunting is not the funnest thing I do. I don't like sitting in a tree and listening to a squirrel for an hour going, maybe this is a deer. Let's pray to the Lord that this is a deer, and then it's a squirrel. And so I kind of left deer hunting for my dad, and didn't hunt for a couple years, but those years were getting a car, getting my license. I had other things, girls and trucks and stuff to worry about than hunting. And when I was maybe 19, 20, man, I came across turkey hunting and changed my life. And so I was like, wait, my ADD self, I was like, my ADD self actually can have a hunt where I can be loud and eat beef jerky in the middle of it and get loud and then find something to stalk for a while. And, which led to duck hunting and dove hunting. And just kind of opened up this whole gamut of things that I was like, wow, there's different ways to hunt than sitting in a tree quiet for, a couple hours. But all that to say, just to wrap it back around, my son's 15, and so now we're back to sitting in trees waiting on deer. So we got property out here in Georgia, and this was his first hunt and was going out deer hunting. So, which we're about to get ready here. It's turkey season now, so about to get a little wild and crazy out here in Georgia.
Man, I always say turkey hunters are bred just a little different. They got a couple wires crossed. They're a couple fries short.
Yes, because it's the wires crosses. We can't sit still. That's what it is. I mean, I always think the people that only hunt deer are the weird ones. Like, don't you have anything to do or social media to check or like something? Like I was trying to be, I'm 36. I was like, I'm not mature. I was like, I sat in the stand this last fall, and within 15 minutes I was on Instagram. I'm like, God, no, I'm bored.
Now, are you a fan? Have you ever watched or seen The Hunting Public at all?
No, I have not, but I'm sure I'd be a fan. Sounds awesome.
See, what they do is, and really same situation. It's like, man, I hunted for so long, and I just got bored. Like, I just figured out, I'm like, man, I'm watching all these deer right over there, and I'm sitting here. And so they spot and stalk and ground hunt whitetails. I mean, all over the country, in Georgia and Kansas and Iowa, Nebraska. They literally just walk on a piece of public ground and they spot and stalk whitetails. And so that might be more up your alley, not sitting still,
Dude, I honestly, I would do that. Can you eat beef jerky and drink Mountain Dews and just hang out while you stalk, or do you have to be quiet while you walk around too? I think the quiet part's what's killing me.
I did
tell. Can we find, like, is there a deaf deer colony I can hunt? Like, that's what I need.
Do you not have to be quiet, turkey hunt?
Deaf deer colony. I mean, once I get on one, I have to be quiet. But I mean, if you're loud before they're coming out of roost, you're only going to push them out of the tree. So it's like, it's kind of a win-win if you're a little bit loud. And I mean, and then my third hunt was duck hunting. And so you go from being quiet in a tree to now you're sitting there duck hunting and somebody's making breakfast. You're over there freaking grilling sausage and making eggs while you're waiting on duck. And I'm like, my dad led me down the wrong, like, who told him deer hunting's the best hunt? Like, I could be making sausage, eggs, and grits and biscuits while I wait on some duck to fly over. That was my win, dude. Duck hunting's the best.
Now, I'll say this. I grew up in Arkansas. And so I grew up a duck hunter. I grew up just ate up with duck hunting.
Yeah.
And I love duck hunting. However, I don't know, man. It's still just a bird. Like, no matter how many you kill, it's a bird. And you never have that euphoric high of like, holy cow, I just shot a 150 whitetail. I mean, you never get that just euphoric, oh my gosh. Now, hey, don't get me wrong, dude. Like, I also understand, do I want to sit in a tree for 2.5 months and maybe shoot a deer, or do I want to go out and shoot 6 ducks in 45 minutes? I get that too. Like, I see the appeal. And for me, duck hunting is all about the camaraderie. It's all about, sitting and hanging out with your friends. And like you said, man, dude, we'll destroy Casey's breakfast pizzas in the duck blind. Like, that is my go-to.
I think that is the best part, is just you and your buds out in the blind, like hanging out. And I get it, dude. Like, for real, there's nothing like dropping something big and that whole adrenaline where it's just like, it's you, the gun, and the deer, and it's going to go one or two ways. And, and then with the duck blind, everybody's shooting, and you can say you shot the bird even though you didn't. Like, you're able to argue with your buds, be like, nah, I shot that one. Nah, you go home to your wife, you're like, babe, I shot every bird out of the sky today, So with the deer, it comes down to you and that. But I think I like dove poppers more than I like maybe getting beef jerky. You know what I'm saying? Like
I
I
feel
can
you.
go home and eat like 65 Dove poppers or a turkey. And turkey hunts are just fun too. But I mean, this is, we're talking, it says bear archery up top of this screen. Like, I mean, there's a lot more things to hunt. And if you're talking like bear and shooting arrows at it, like I ain't ever shot a bear. That sounds awesome. That sounds like something. If you got to wait in a tree for a bear, I don't even know how to hunt bear, but like that's what I want to do. I want to go out there and fist fight a bear.
Hey, bear hunting
because I've been working out, so I could probably do it.
Bear hunting has quickly become one of my favorite things. However, I am 99% whitetail hunter. However, I love bear hunting. Nick, what was your start into hunting? Where'd you get your start? We've had the pleasure of hunting together a few times, and it's always fun. But where did you get your start in hunting?
Yeah, so I actually was the opposite as you, Rhett. I grew up hunting just bird, no ducks or geese or anything like that, but going out and freezing my butt off, walking fields, no dogs or nothing, trying to stir up pheasant and quail. And didn't actually, so I did that. And first time I went was when I was 11 years old. And there were no deer hunting, no turkey. It was just pheasant and quail. And it was, once a year, and I always froze. And didn't deer hunt for the first time until I was probably, I think I was 21, 22, first time I deer hunted, and still went out and froze my butt. And then more recently went duck hunting, call it geese hunting or goose hunting.
Geeses.
Geese. The
Gooses.
Hunting the geeses.
Gooses.
I never shot any gooses.
Words.
Until I was a little bit older. But I agree with you on that. With both of you guys, the camaraderie for me, it's hard for me to sit. I'm very much the same way. I think it's a discipline thing for me.
Must just be singers. Singers just have ADD.
Yeah. I'm just.
We do.
Wanting to. Well, and that's probably why Dylan and I have never seen or gotten even close to shooting a deer whenever we've hunted together, because I'm always talking to him. And
or talking me into leaving what we're doing. He's like, why don't we go walk up here and see if there's any deer? I'm like, because I know there's deer that come in down here. He's like, yo, why don't we go over here? Why don't I play my guitar while we
let's just go see if they're over the hill.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Now,
100% it.
I will say though, then this is something he was talking about. Have you ever tried spotting stalking a deer, Rhett?
No, but that sounds awesome for real. Like I could be into that.
We need to get you on an elk hunt.
Yeah, that too.
It's like turkey hunting, but it doesn't suck. I bag on turkey hunters.
I'm down, dude.
I bag on turkey hunters. I do turkey hunt. People ask me all the time, like, do you turkey hunt? And I'm like, yes, I'll go kill a bird a year. It just doesn't get me going. Like, I'll travel to 7-8 states to deer hunt. Turkey hunting, I'm going to walk out my backyard and shoot one and be done. Like, I don't get all into turkey hunting, but I do turkey hunt. But I still have to give turkey hunters a hard time. So,
yeah, I feel like you're just angry. You just got a spot in your heart that you need to let go, give to the Lord. So I don't know what turkey did you wrong when you were a kid, but you got to let it go, bro.
I don't know, man. It's getting hot already. There's ticks. It's still just a bird, man. No matter,
it's true.
Dude, we have a buddy, me and Nick, a shared buddy, and he'll go to like 13 states, Gabe. He'll go to like 13 states to turkey hunt. And I'm like, dude, whether you're in Georgia or whether you're in Idaho, it's a bird. Like it's got 2 feet.
Same bird.
It's got 2 feet. It's got 2 wings. It's got a beard. It's a bird. Like, I don't get it. But No, I mean, I think, see, there's a lot of crossover between turkey hunting and elk hunting. And a lot of people here in the Midwest and down south, they turkey hunt because it's a lot like elk hunting. And so I think you would definitely enjoy. Now, have you ever bow hunted?
No, I've not bow hunted. All of my buddies bow hunt. This is something I feel like I was talking with my wife the other night. I feel like as you get to like your mid-30s, you have to start choosing things. And bow hunting was one of the things like I really want to get into. I chose golf as one of my
This
things.
is a mistake.
And golf did not choose me. And dude, I mean, it was like something all my friends are doing, and I just completely suck. Like, there's no way around it. I'm just the absolute worst. We had this like golf tournament that I was in, and I'm in a golf tournament coming up, and I should have said no. But it's like a celebrity golf tournament with all the guys from UGA, like David Pollock and Kirby Smart, and I'm one of the people in the golf tournament and I've tried to get out of it. I don't know why. It's going to be bad. But we had a caddy, and on this one golf tournament I was in, he was like, all right, you're going to need to hit it right here. And I was like, that's cute. I'm going to swing, and we'll see where it goes. I will aim for this spot that you told me to shoot at. But bow hunting is one of the things I think you have to choose. Like, do you want to like smoke meat or smoke cigars? You have to you kind of get in that spot in your mid-30s. And so bow hunting is one. Smoking meat has definitely been one. I love to smoke a butt. And golf, for some reason is one of them too. So I'm hoping I'm good at one. Like, I suck at golf, so maybe I'd be good at bow hunting. I think I'm decent at smoking meat. So
now I will say this:
We'll see.
turkey hunting is cool. Turkey hunting with a shotgun is cool, but turkey hunting with a bow, now we're talking. Like, now you're taking something fun and making it real fun. Like, so what stopped you? Like, why haven't you started yet?
Honestly, I think it's just time, man. Like, it's one of those things. I've got 4 kids where it's like anytime I go into like thinking about bow hunting, like most of my buddies, they bow hunt. Shane Myers is one of the guys in Tennessee that got me into turkey hunting, and he only hunts with his bow and loves it. And so I've always wanted to do it, but I think it's just one of those things where it's time, where it's like, man, I just ain't went and got a bow, honestly. It's easier to grab my 12 gauge and hit the truck. But so I think Dylan, maybe that's why you hate turkey hunting, dude, is because it's once you get on a bird, it's pretty easy.
Yeah.
You like the game of it. It is pretty easy. I'll give you that.
Yeah. I mean, now don't get me wrong, dude. Last year I took my 4-year-old out a lot turkey hunting, and it was not easy. Like, we screwed up a lot, but it was fun.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah,
4-year-olds, they're crazy. Like, they won't be quiet.
He was convinced, dude. We were by the river, and he was convinced there was a bunch of geese on the river, and he's like, Dad, those are turkeys. I'm like, son, they're not turkeys, bro. They're geese. I can hear them. And he's like, we got to go see them. And I'm like, dude, we're going to leave all the way over here to walk to the edge of that so you can see when we get all the way over there. He said, yep, they're not turkeys. And I'm like, oh my gosh. But anyways,
me and his 4-year-old are about the same.
Yeah.
When we're hunting.
Yeah, they're about the same wavelength there.
Nick's like, Dylan, please, come on, let's go over there and look, dude. I think they're turkeys. Nick, come on, Dylan, come on.
I will say, we tried spot and stalking deer for the first time,
dude,
this year, because I said we got to get out of the blind, man, and it was a blast, and it was a rush.
We got real close to a giant.
Yes.
We didn't see it until we got close.
We got close, and it jumped up and ran away. But I mean, seriously though, we were probably 15 yards from it and had no idea. And I go walking out.
Dude, I'd be all about that.
See, but like, you asked that. You said, do you have to be quiet? And when we got close to that deer, I purposely said, I'm not going to be quiet. Like, I wasn't talking. I wasn't eating jerky, but I was like running through the woods. I mean, I just was going as fast as I could, making as much noise as I could. I was grunting the whole way, just blah, 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 blah. And because that deer thought I was a buck running through the woods, he did. I wasn't sneaking. I wasn't trying to be quiet. I wasn't. So he thought I was another deer, and I got, we got 5 yards from him before he stood up, and just an absolute ball, man.
God, dude, I'd be so down for that. 100%.
So, Nick, you not recently, but within the last couple of years, bought a recurve and started getting into that. Now, Nick is definitely bred a little different because he just jumped straight to the recurve. He just jumped straight to a piece of wood and a string. Walk me through kind of that introduction and the journey there. And you did shoot a deer with it last year. We never found it, but did shoot a deer with it.
Yeah. So I'm in the same boat as you. I've got 4 kids, Rhett, and time is a very valuable, precious resource. And I started out the very first time I deer hunted it was one time with a rifle, and I didn't see anything. And Dylan actually had started talking to me about bow hunting, and I'm in the same boat as you. All of my friends, family, all of them are big time bow hunters, and I had never done it. And went 1 year with a compound, but all of the equipment and the sights and the tweaking that you have to do on it kind of it was just too much for me to think about at the time. And so I thought, hey, he had a recurve, and I loved the instinctual part of it, kind of like a shotgun. In my mind, it was the same thing. You're not really, like when you're out bird hunting, you're not lining up the sights down to try to, you're just throwing your gun up and, instinct, bam, shooting that. I felt the same way with the recurve bow. I didn't have to set anything up to go out and shoot. I got a target in my backyard. I can grab my bow off the wall, walk out, shoot 25, 30, shots, walk back in, or, it takes me 30 minutes. And that was what the appeal was for me. And so, yeah, he's right. I just jumped straight into hunting deer with a recurve bow. And everybody was like, you're nuts. But also being so close to the deer is a whole nother level. Like you're talking about sitting in a tree with a rifle. Yeah. I don't know how close you're normally getting to them, but man, when a deer walks in to 10 yards and he's just right there.
Yeah.
There's something else about that too. And we were stalking with recurves, which was, you got to get close. And so that was the appeal for it to me. I didn't have to put a whole bunch of time into it now. Obviously the time into practicing helps. But that was how I got into the recurve, and being able to jump in with a bunch of buddies. Dylan's got a whole 3D archery course in his backyard with bears and goblins and
the goblin's the best.
We can just go up on his back deck and just have a night where we're just all out there with our recurves, shooting too. So
speaking of that, you'll get a kick out of this, Rhett. I think you'll run out and buy one right now. I bought a bow mounted decoy. So you mount the face of this deer to your bow and you just walk through the woods and you are the decoy. So you're calling deer to yourself. They see you and they're coming at you. Dude, I've had a buddy and he's like, man, there's been times I had to drop my bow and be like, hey, no, hey, because they were coming to fight me. And I was scared.
Dude, that's straight turkey hunting stuff right there, man.
Yeah, so you can make deer hunting
straight
fun.
Turkey hunting. You're just walking out.
You need to make
deer hunting fun. Hey, I love y'all talking about, like the recurve and all that stuff. But still, that's not as cool as like I got a slingshot. Like that's what I'm hunting deer with now. If David could use it, I'm going slingshot. So, and I also made my own. I found a stick and a string, and I'm going for it. We'll see.
I
Y'all
like
be
it.
like me.
Hey, I will say,
Rhett Walker, make deer hunting great again. That's
Make-
the slogan.
That's what I got. Hats. They're coming out next week.
write a song. Write a song. We'll you write it. We'll play it in church on Sunday. I promise. If you write it, I'll get
This
up.
has
and I'll
nothing
sing
to
it.
do with the sermon series.
Hey, around
But
here
make
though,
deer hunting great again.
around here it'll preach.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Hey, you've heard that
Same.
song, This is the Sound of Dry Bones Rattling, haven't you?
Yeah.
I rewrote that entire song to be This is the Sound of Deer Horns Rattling. And I tried to get Nick to sing it on a Sunday, and he wouldn't. I tried.
We need to rewrite some of the.
I haven't known Nick long. I've only known him, for however 22 minutes and 47 seconds. But I'll be honest with you, he does need to get his heart right. That's why he wouldn't sing it that Sunday morning. He needs to get his heart right.
It was the fear of man.
Come on, Nick.
No, that was my you mentioned bear hunting, and we've talked about recurve hunting. When I got into shooting a recurve, like my number one thing was I want to shoot a bear with my recurve. And so I went to Idaho and I got 13 yards from a bear and I shot it with my recurve. And dude, I was on like cloud 9. I was already like, I was on a GPS phone, but I was already like satelliting my wife, like shot a bear in the mountains on public ground with my recurve, like dream come true. Yes. And then we never stinking found it. So that went from like cloud 9 to like, this is the worst situation of my life. And no, it was still in like a crazy cool experience to be 13 yards from a bear. And but never found it. So
dude, I can imagine how the adrenaline and how that had to have felt being that close to a bear.
I pooped a little. That's probably why I didn't make a good shot. But dude, I'll tell you what though, I've got some really good friends in Georgia, and they're all about turkey hunting with bows. So I'm gonna have to like get you guys linked up and make something happen.
Yeah, I'm down. We got about close to about 1,000 acres outside of town, and so I mean we got the spots to go. And last time we went turkey hunting, me and my son, it was his first time going turkey hunting, and we didn't shoot anything, but we got him talking back. And I mean, even that, watching the excitement in my son's eyes, like when he's calling on his own. I've shown him in the truck. He's calling on his own on the box, and hearing the turkey call back, it was fun watching him, because it's like that still excites me. But I forgot how it feels your first time when you get on something, and you're like, dude, this is it. I don't know where he is, Bubba, but like, let's go find him. And we couldn't find him, but we found a gator in the pond. So we, just kind of sit there watching the gator and throwing rocks at it. And that's kind of the story of
Take
Georgia
him on with your slingshot.
Sometimes.
You're willing to wrestle a bear, but not a gator?
No, no, it'd be too easy. Gator's too easy to fight.
I can see that. No, I will say this though: turkey hunting is a great way to get kids introduced. Like turkey hunting, because
really
it's
is
interactive, because it's fun, because you're running and gunning. It's a really good way to get kids involved, and that's why I started taking my son turkey hunting. I didn't start with taking him deer hunting because obviously it screwed Rhett over when his dad started with deer. So I started with turkey, and then you introduce the deer hunting and say, now we're going to actually start hunting, son, and having fun.
Oh God,
that's a good point.
Now we're done with child's play.
Yeah, I took my 6-year-old.
You also took your 6-week-old. Like,
yeah, that's true.
Nick had a baby in a car seat, carried her to the blind, set her down, and was deer hunting. I'm like, Nick, you're the real deal, man.
I mean, did you have like little headphones for her? Like, what if you did shoot something? Or are you just planning on whenever I go to the woods, I'm not going to say anything? Oh, you're bow hunting. That's right.
We're quiet hunters.
See,
Yeah.
that's another reason I need to get. I got to protect my ears, man.
Hashtag stealthy.
Seriously.
It's another reason.
Hearing damage. No, that's true. Well, and even if you don't, half part of it for me is not even necessarily just about seeing stuff. Obviously you want to see something. The kids definitely want to see something, and not just 500 yards out. But just having them out there, I'm honestly not a huge fan of hunting alone. I'm always like, hey, Dylan, you want to go with me? Hey, kids, get in, we're going to go. And yeah, you don't really see many deer when you got your 4 kids in the blind with you, but still just the camaraderie of it.
Guys, when it comes to hunting and being outdoors, I believe there's one product that I use more than anything. That's not my bow. That's not my boots. It's not my anything else other than a binocular harness. If I am outside doing anything outdoors, I've got a binocular harness on. Whether I'm shooting, whether I'm hanging tree stands, whether I'm out hiking, it doesn't matter. If I'm outdoors doing just about anything, I've always got my binocular harness. Alaskan Guide Creations does it and does it very, very well. I've been using these now for about 8 years, and I absolutely love them. The new system with all the magnets are really good, really accessible, very customizable. Guys, if you're in the market for a new binocular harness, I would highly, highly, highly encourage you to check out Alaskan Guide Creations because they are phenomenal.
How old are your kids, Nick?
I've got a 6-year-old boy, a 4-year-old boy, a 3-year-old boy, a 1-year-old little girl, and then we've got another one on the way who will be born in July.
They can't learn
Good
why
God,
this is
son.
happening.
Do y'all do it, bro? I feel like you just hunt and have sex. That's the only things you do. And you go to church on Sunday mornings.
Oh gosh. Well,
Like,
Hey, that's biblical right there, though.
Straight up.
Funny because I totally lost my train of thought when
You know what I told
Well,
my wife
yes,
when we
because
got
you're
married?
hunting deer or your wife. That's all you're doing. You're hunting your deer or your wife.
Hey, I told my wife when we got married, I said, day one, I said, baby, we're put on this earth for 2 reasons. We're put on this earth to worship our creator, and we're put on this earth to repopulate. So let's start. Like,
Yep.
That's it.
Yeah. I mean,
Be fruitful,
you don't even have to be playing the game. Sometimes you just need to practice,
That's right.
That's like our 4th. We didn't plan on our 4th. We thought we were just practicing. Next thing you know, we won the daggone game. So I've got 18,
That's been the last
15, 10, and 4.
You was poking fun. You was poking fun at her, and she took you serious, huh?
Yeah.
You said
Sounds like her fault.
You said you have an 18-year-old?
Yeah, dude. I got 18, 15, 10, and 4.
That's quite the spread.
That's a spread.
Yeah, we were teenage pregnancy. I was 17 when we had our first. And then so we've been married for 19 years. I'm 36, and so we got an 18-year-old, which is crazy because it's like, I mean, she's a little adult, just living in her house, and thank God she's got a better head on her shoulders than I did at that age. And but yeah, our 4-year-old, he'll be 5 this month. He was definitely the surprise. I was out of town in Florida, and my wife FaceTimed me. She don't ever FaceTime me, and she FaceTimed me, and I was like, "Babe, you good?" And she goes and just holds up the pregnancy test, and I was like, flight attendant, bring them around."
Oh man! So I do want to take a step back.
Yep.
How did you get into to Christian music?
Yeah, man, I kind of stumbled my way in. So, my dad's a pastor, and grew up in the church. I mean, like y'all's kids, and you're just there all the time, and the kids are there all the time, and loved it. And when I became a teenager, I started playing guitar a little bit. My first love was drums, and so I played guitar, played drums, and then it became like, all right, son, so-and-so didn't show up this morning. They got sick, so we need you to play bass. Or so-and-so didn't show up. We need you to play drums. And so I kind of became the fill-in, for whoever didn't show up on the worship band. And one Sunday they called me off the drums they wanted me to sing a song. Todd Agnew, Grace Like Rain was the song. And so I sang it. It was horrible. It was the worst ever. I don't even know if God was happy. I feel like he was like, hey, we gave that to Todd. Let's, how about you give it back to him and don't sing it? And so, they never let me go back though. So I was like, man, was I that bad at drums that you would rather me sing, And man, I never turned back, and I had no plan B, teenage pregnancy threw us for a loop, but we're, trying to figure it out and working 3 or 4 jobs to pay for a baby. But God's been good, man. I honestly think, having a kid that young and trying to figure out life was the best thing that ever happened to me, because it made me become a man, and it was no longer selfish living, do what Rhett wants. Like, I had a baby. I had to take care of a baby. And so me and April got married and, had that kid, and kind of put music on the back burner and just worked. But then I got an offer to start leading worship at colleges like all across the country with a professor out of Wake Forest, North Carolina. And so I started leading with him, which just kind of led me into Christian music, man. And wrote a couple songs. The label Sony, got a hold of it and called me. And I remember going to that meeting going, oh God, they're like, hey, can you come up for a meeting? And I told my wife, I was like, grab the champagne. Like, this is it. Like, we're going in, we're getting signed. And went in there to get, talk with them. And they were like, we love what you're doing. Keep writing. And I was like, yeah, but what else? And they were like, keep writing. And I was like, oh man. But they set me up with a few rights where I wrote some of my first hits with When Mercy Found Me, Come to the River, and signed a record deal, and about to put out my 4th record this fall. So
that's awesome.
It's crazy, man. I've had a weird career, from songs on Christian radio, songs on country radio, and playing the Opry to playing, everybody's church. And I just kind of show up, man, wherever God takes me, whether it's, out hunting somewhere, out with my kids, or out, Sunday mornings out at church, or a theater on Friday nights. I just show up and tell people about Jesus and how they can live a good life.
That's awesome, man. So do you think, has the outdoors and his hunting been any kind of inspiration for any kind of songs? Or I can't help but worship. I mean, if you're in the outdoors, how do you not worship?
Exactly. I mean, dude, one of my second single was called Come to the River. And it was that song, honestly, it was one of those moments where, and I do this often, I was sitting there going through some stuff, had some big decisions to make, and just kind of in my head. Like I was praying about it. I wasn't just trying to wrestle it down by myself, but I'm still just in my head about it. And I told my wife, I said, babe, I need to get along with God. And so I jumped in my truck, and that's what I normally do. And I just drive, and I'm quiet, or sometimes I'm complaining and going, God, why is this? Why, according on the situation. But this time I was just quiet, and I was like, God, I need you to lead me, like what I need to do. And I was driving out about 20 minutes outside of Nashville, and just these back roads, and took a right down the road, and it happened to be like a public boat ramp, and my truck drove. And if I drove any further, I went in the water and just kind of sat there, and I was like, man, like, you can bring it over here, baby. And I was like, man, I'm sitting here at a river. Sorry, my daughter brought me Mountain Dew. I'm sitting here looking at a river, and what are you trying to tell me, God? Like, what is this going on? And I just felt like he was just saying, man, you drink from the cup I give, you'll thirst no more. Just a reminder, like, keep always coming back to me. Like, never think you got it in your own strength. Like, keep coming back to me. I'm the giver of joy. I'm the giver of peace. And so I wrote this song called Come to the River based off of pulling up to a river. And I wouldn't have gotten that song if it wouldn't have been for God's creation in the outdoors. And so, yeah, man, I get a lot of inspiration of just sitting out there, you know, and I get a lot of time to think when I'm hunting whitetail, because it's just sitting out there, just thinking and sitting and thinking. Unlike turkey hunting, which is the best kind of hunt, you know?
See, you asked me what kind of turkey did me wrong. I want to know what kind of deer did you wrong. Like
the ones that didn't show up.
He said all of them.
I feel like I stood up for every date with the deer.
That's what something I was going to ask was, so yeah, for me, I actually don't hunt, but maybe 3 or 4 times a year. And you understand that, you know, getting out, leaving it. Well, that's a whole other thing. I used to think you had to leave at, 3 a.m. and get out.
Oh my gosh.
But,
Nick would call me at like 2:30 a.m. and he'd be like, dude, are you not headed to the stand yet? I'm like, no, the sun doesn't come up for 4.5 hours. Like, I'll wake up in 4 hours. Like, what do you mean? And he's like, dude, I'm already out here. I'm like, out there doing what?
Just sitting.
Watching them sleep.
Watching the deer sleep. Oh, gosh. I used to think, when I first started, I used to think you had to just walk like tiptoe into the woods at 3 a.m. And then I learned that that's not quite the case. But being in the stand for me, and I was going to ask you this, writing songs, that the discipline of just making yourself sit down, and which is so hard for me. That's one of the few times that I get to do that. Sit down and just be quiet. And God's like, shut up. You can't, if you want to see something, you can't talk. Cause I'll talk to myself even if I'm alone. But yeah, I was going to say, he's like, just about, writing songs. If God had given you that, and that's a really neat thing, just in the most practical ways. Yeah. You just pulling up to a river,
you might write more songs if you deer hunted more, because you'd be sitting and thinking more.
It's true.
I'm just saying.
I think it's just one of those things too. It's like, I'm naturally like, people ask, they're like, Rhett, so you're a hunter, or Rhett, you do this. I just tell people I'm an outdoors guy. Like, I mean, if it's not a season that, like, I'm touring like crazy, and so I don't get to go out in the woods as much as I'd want to, or something like that, you're still going to find me sitting outside on my back porch at night after the kids go down. Like, I enjoy the outdoors. And, I love my church that I go to. I go to Stevens Creek in Augusta here. And I love that church. I love the pastor. I love the people, but I really do, kind of live that life of that old man at the gas station. It's like, I find God all over in the outdoors, in the woods. And I'm like, yeah, man, like I do. I'm out there. I look at his creation. Like, even, I joke, but even if it is a dumb squirrel and not a deer, like you're watching this whole thing of like beauty and life that's happening in these woods, and you watch it kind of wake up, and it's like, man, how big of a God do we serve that cares about me? I've never gone hungry. I've got 4 healthy kids, a beautiful wife. Like, it feels like he poured out all of his magic on me, and y'all 2 dudes feel that way for yourself. And then you see the woods and all the creation in it, and the way the trees come to life. And it's like, the intricacies of our God is so vast and so big. It's like, I feel like I learn something new about my creator every time I step into the woods. And I know that sounds cliche, but it's like, man, just how big of a God we serve, that he can create even the smallest of details but then these big ones of love for my kids and my house. And it's just, I learn something new every time I go in the woods, whether I'm writing a song or just find out, just a reminder of how much God loves me.
I feel like we absolutely have to get you on an elk hunt. Like, it's just, you like turkey hunting, and it's turkey hunting on steroids. You're turkey hunting a 1,100-pound animal. Like, let's just look at it that way.
Dude, I'm so in.
But then you take everything you're talking about and you put it in the mountains. Like, and rather than waking up and looking out Georgia, you're looking at the mountains of Idaho or Utah or Colorado. And I mean, dude, and you think about, like, that's part of my favorite part about elk hunting is you talked about just going out and sitting on your back porch. Well, like, this last year in Idaho, you're sitting out on your back porch, but it's in the mountains and you're listening to elk rip off. Like, and it's just incredible. Like, it's just, there's no way, like I tell people, like, there's no way you can sit here and look at things around you and deny a creator. Like, there's just no way. And dude, we just got to get you on an elk hunt. Like, I needed to ask you, why in the crap don't you bow fish? Like, you like to do all this redneck garbage, but you don't bow fish.
Dude, I want to bow fish so bad. I've been asked to go like 3 or 4 times, and every time I've not been able to. That's a lie. Every time almost I haven't been able to because we've had an early flight or something next morning. One time I canceled because it was just too cold, and I don't do the cold. That's another reason I don't like deer hunting. I'm like, if we go elk hunting,
cold in Georgia,
I'm gonna be like that kid. I mean, not really, and that's why when I go to the Midwest, I'm like, dude, what are y'all doing up here? It's like I look like the kid on A Christmas Story, where I'm just like walking where his mom's got him like 7 layers up. Like, that's me trying to. That's why I don't bow hunt, because I can't pull back. I can get my hands here.
That's a good
But nah, dude, I would love to go. Dude, frog gigging, that's probably one of my favorite things to do. That was the first date I took my wife on, was frog gigging.
That's how I know.
She ain't ever went back.
That's how I know you're a redneck.
Yeah. I taught my kids. I bring back a plethora of frogs, and I told them, you cut them at the waist, pull their pants off, we'll fry them. Let's go.
Yeah. You never have to ask them. If they talk frog gigging, you don't have to ask them if they're a redneck. It's just implied.
No. Yep.
That just happens.
It's like, they smoked a Pall Mall when they were 5 years old.
Oh, man. I mean, hey, no denying that.
I mean, they did.
What was the first turkey? Like that one that just, this does it for me. Turkey season's coming up, man. And I would encourage, like, guys, don't listen to me. I do enjoy turkey hunting. It's a blast. It's fun. So if you've not turkey hunted, turkey season's coming up. Get out and try it. Like, do it. It's so much fun. But what was that one turkey for you that just like got you fired up and you're like, yeah, this is what I like to do?
So it was probably, I would say it was like my third hunt, and it wasn't even my first bird. My first turkey came real easy. And we were probably, we were out there 45 minutes. They came out of roost and just came straight to the decoy. It was a quick thing, and I was like, wow, turkey hunting's easy. Like, this is fun. But it wasn't enough I think it was a little too easy. About my third bird, I think it might have been my third, everything went wrong. So we were stalking this bird, and he came out of the trees and landed out of gun zone, like out of where I couldn't hit him. And I was like, dude, it almost felt like it was on purpose. And he walked this line that was just out of range. And I was like, this thing's is taunting me, like is messing with me. And so the adrenaline's going. You're like, I've got to get this bird. And it kind of it flew off a little bit. So we're stalking this turkey. We're going around through the woods, and I'm laid down, and I'm with one of my buddies, Shane, who bow hunts, and I'm laid down on the wood line because I see him up top of this hill, and he's coming down towards us. Well, about the time he's halfway down the hill, almost in range, my buddy Shane goes, "Don't move." And he's got the bow pulled back over me. I'm laid flat on the ground.
Don't move.
Like facing over me. And I was like, I said, "Dude, what are you doing? Like, don't you shoot." He goes, "Coyote." And dude, I turned around, the wind hit, and I guess like he smelt me then and spooked him. But that coyote was so close, I heard its paws hit the ground, like coming up on us. And I was like, "Don't you shoot over me. Like, don't you, dude, I'll turn and shoot this thing. Like, don't you shoot over me." And so, the coyote runs off. Now the turkey's spooked, and we just count it done. We're like, all right, well, we've chased this thing. We've stalked this thing all morning. Like, we're done. But my adrenaline was still going from the coyote. It was going because I wanted that turkey that was taunting me. And, dude, we get in the truck and drive down the road and then see him coming around. So we stop, get out the truck, hit this little brush line that's like right there on the road, and waited. And I ended up getting this turkey. And that was the one that made me go, I'll do this the rest of my life. Like, I'll hunt bird, I'll hunt. I just want to hunt. And because that was the one for me that felt like the actual hunt. Like, I'd seen this bird 3 times. He'd seen me, stayed out of range. Cody tried to do it. And it was like everything was against me. But I went home with that bird. And so that was the one that I still got the beard sitting in my shotgun shell casing. And yeah, man, that's the one that made me go, this is it. Let's go. I love to hunt.
That's another thing I just did for the first time, was thermal hunted coyotes. So we'd get out there at dark.
Really?
We were out there till 3 a.m., jump into different fields and driving across the different fields. And we would just call, and dogs would run in, and we'd shoot them in the head, and we'd move on to the next field. I mean, it was just an absolute blast. Something that I never done before, but just like you said, you're like, dude, I'm going to do this forever now. Like, this is a ball.
Dude, I went coyote hunting with my buddy Shane. He's from the Midwest, but we go out. We were in Nashville. We went out hunting for them, and there was snow everywhere, and we were just sitting out there, and we got a couple. But dude, that was the hunt that made me almost never want to go hunting again. I was so cold the entire time. Like, I was just, all I could think about was my toes they weren't there. Where'd he go?
We still have his audio, so we won't worry about it. Can you?
Okay.
Yeah, because you're plugged through mine. So, yeah. So the biggest encouragement I just want to give people. So Rhett, the whole purpose of this podcast, is to teach and inspire, to grow as outdoorsmen and inspire other people along the way. And so I just want to inspire you, teach you, help you. If it's something you don't enjoy, like, don't do it. Like, don't force yourself into deer hunting. Don't think, well, I've got to be a deer hunter. That's the only, that's all I've got here. I mean, find something you enjoy and stick with that. I mean, whether it's turkey hunting or pheasant hunting or dove hunting or duck hunting or bear hunting, elk hunting, bow fishing, whatever. I mean, there's so many things to do. And all of them, I mean, I'm still discovering new things I like to do. I've never thermal hunted coyotes before, and I went and I'm like, yeah, this will be an every year thing for sure. So find something you enjoy doing and do that. But I don't think, well, the social media hype is all about shooting big deer, and if that's what I have to do, or I'm not a real hunter. I mean, there's things like my dad is a small game hunter, which you're like, why would you ever want to hunt small game? But that's what my dad likes to do, and he has a ball doing it. And so, just find something you enjoy doing and do that. But, in the same breath, if it's something you don't like doing, just move on. Like, don't force yourself. I told somebody this. They said, you guys probably get this with singing. Like you get to make your living singing, and like people are like, you get to make your living hunting. And I'm like, well, still have to work, but, they're like, what about if you don't want to go? Like, and I'm like, then I don't go. Like, if there's times where I don't want to go hunting, I just don't go hunting. Like, I don't make myself do it. I don't want it to ever become that. So yeah, I mean, that's just what I would encourage people,
Well, it's the same for me. Like with duck hunting, like that's the one where I hunt half a season, and I have no problem with it. Like when the water gets in Tennessee, like when I have a blind up there, and when the water gets where it's frozen and you're breaking ice to get in the blind, that's when I quit going. And I have no problem with it. Like I love to hunt the first part. I love to turkey hunt. I don't hunt half the season of duck. You just got to find what makes you happy. And that's the kind of stuff too that makes you want to like tell your kids about it. But if you find something you don't like doing, just don't do it, and I need to go bow fishing though. You have that on my mind now. Like I want to go now.
Dude, I haven't done it in a long time. Growing up in Arkansas, we didn't have anything better to do other than shoot fish with a bow. And so that's what you did. But it's a ball, man. It's a blast. And especially if you're about the camaraderie and you're about just hanging out with your boys and having fun and, spending the night doing something that you enjoy. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
I'm down.
I'll have to get you a bow fishing rig. Bear owns Cajun Bow Fishing, and they make some of the baddest bow fishing rigs ever. I'll have to get you one sent out, man.
Dude, yeah. Dude, where are you at? Where are you located?
Wellington, Kansas. We're 30 miles south of Wichita.
Dude, well, I'll come out there, get a rig up, come out there, and we'll go.
When's the last time you played in this area, in Wichita area, Kansas?
I think it was last spring. We're out that way.
Very cool. You seem like the kind of guy that likes to do like hayfield concerts. Like, let's set that up. Let's just find you a wheat field, put like a flatbed trailer in it.
Yep.
Sell some tickets and do a concert.
Yeah, man, what our shows like, when it's my tour and I'm not on somebody else's or a festival, dude, I do a meet and greet. It's called it, but it's MEAT and greet. And so it's like, I try to find people that'll smoke a butt and we can have pulled pork or a barbecue or something while we all hang out.
Okay.
High five each other. We got barbecue on our hands.
Let me sweeten this deal even a little more. So in our hometown, me and Nick have a buddy. His name's Mike Casanetta. He was on the Food Network, named Top 10 Chef in America. Dude can cook you anything you ever dream of cooking. He's done quite a bit of like celebrity, like Lauren Daigle came to town and he catered for her, and Andy Mineo came and he cooked for him, and I'm probably missing people. Skillet. I don't know who else, but
Skillet.
Yeah, I don't know who else, but yeah, dude, you'll have to like.
He
only
cooked his house like
throw
cast
some
iron
meat with
skillet
him.
foods. Dude, I'm
Yeah, he
down.
brought the black stuff.
But I just booked me a flight. I'm on my way to Kansas in 30 minutes.
Dude, I can have you on
turkeys. I ain't got
turkeys.
nothing going on.
I can have you on turkeys.
Let's go.
I mean, I don't turkey hunt a lot, but I've got people who can put you on birds. And then Mike will do something just crazy with it when you kill it.
I would that would be
Done.
great. See, now I've never turkey hunted before, and I've been wanting to go.
You're not missing much.
Let's go. Let's go.
I've really wanted
Don't listen to
go.
Dylan. He's being a bad friend right now.
Yeah, now I'm after the conversation. I'm like, man, like I thought it was going to be a great time, and now I don't know if I want to go anymore. No, I really do want to go. That would be awesome. Because there's tons of people. Dylan's got a lot of connections, and he just, obviously hasn't been a good enough friend to me yet.
I don't turkey
To
hunt.
take me out.
No, listen, like for real, guys. If you've never turkey hunted, if you're listening to this and you're a diehard deer hunter, you've never turkey hunted, or a bear hunter, or an elk hunter, or whatever it might be, you've never turkey hunted. I love
Go.
turkey hunting. It's the hunting part of turkeys is fantastic. You call, they call back. You bust in there and try to shoot them. Like, that part is so fun. I just don't get fired up about the actual bird. Like, it's still just a bird to me. I tell people this too. Like, I can be to Oklahoma in about an hour where there's pigs, and I can shoot as many pigs in a weekend as I want. Like, I can hunt, pigs for 2 days and shoot 20 pigs, or I can hunt turkeys for a weekend and maybe shoot one bird. Like, so what, of course I'm going to go shoot the 200-pound pigs that can kill me, because it's fun and they taste better. So, and Rhett likes to smoke butt. So why don't we go kill some pork? Let's
go.
So that's for me. And I like spring bear hunting. Like, I'm going to head to Idaho and spring bear hunt. So that takes up turkey time. So, I mean, that's just for me where it's at. Maybe I'm wrong though.
We need to get,
no,
go ahead and get you a bear recurve. I don't know. That's Dylan's thing. Get you a bear recurve, fly up to Kansas. We'll get some, what are those things called? The decoys that you put on your
bow mounted decoys. Yeah.
Yeah. Bow mounted decoys and turkey hunt like that and that'll be my first time, because that's how I do things.
That'll be fun.
I'm going to go out with a recurve first time turkey hunting with a bow mounted decoy. We'll all go out there and do that, and then go shoot.
Well, yeah, it'll be my first time bow hunting a turkey, so it'll be great. And since Dylan's done it so many times, he can only use his hands. That way, it's new for everybody.
Exactly.
Dylan, he has to tackle one. You have to throw a rock at it.
I actually saw a video of a guy doing that with pigs. He was like hiding under brush, and he would like jump out and try to catch a pig. And I'm like, now you're done.
Have you seen them? Have you seen them where they only knife hunt?
Yeah, we have a buddy who does that, and he's just insane.
That's crazy,
brain, dude. Like, you see these
that's
videos.
That's a different type of human.
Yeah, that's
you're a little sick and twisted in the head.
Yeah, a little bit.
You ain't right if that's what you do.
Well, I've also seen with these turkeys where you have those, the bow mounted decoys where, the turkeys come in
and they mount you,
and they'll straight up charge you. I mean, like,
it's true though. It's a problem.
You're trying to get spurred in the face if you bow mount a decoy.
You get on and watch it. Look up video bow mounted decoy turkey hunting. There's some crazy videos out there of people doing that where the turkeys just straight out. I mean, you're having to cut them off, literally cut their head off with a arrow. What are those called?
A broadhead.
A broadhead. Oh, thought it was like a special kind of broadhead that you had.
They call them like guillotines and stuff like that.
Where you're literally cutting the turkey's head off with a broadhead 5 yards in front of your face. That's crazy.
Let's do it.
That's crazy talk.
Let's do it.
All right. I got to take my dog to the vet.
That's the most redneck excuse to get off a podcast I've ever heard in my lifetime. Before we go,
no, actually.
Before we go, Rhett, what's your number one turkey tip?
Okay.
Like, your turkey hunting tip that you have learned over the years that the listener can become a better turkey hunter with.
Don't be afraid to shoot them out of the tree when they're sleeping. I'm just kidding. Don't do that. It's easy. You get it done. You get it done real quick. I'm just kidding. Don't do it. You're not supposed to do that.
I think I just lost 7 sponsors.
I know. Hey, that wasn't on you. That wasn't on you, Dylan.
This episode's brought to you by Rhett Walker Music.
Yeah, exactly. RhettWalker.com for all your complaints. My number one turkey. Man, that's hard. I don't know. I don't know what my number one would be. I'm trying to think more like inspirational. Like, honestly, the thing that keeps me
go deer hunting.
The thing that keeps me always. Shut up. I would say the thing that keeps me wanting to go back, man, is just the fun of the hunt. Like,
Yeah.
Even earlier, Nick was talking about thinking that, with deer hunting, you had to be quiet. You're sneaking into their bed. Like, you got to be this. And you start to realize, like, all these things that people have said over years aren't the big deal. Like, you know what? My biggest thing is have fun, man. Like, if you're not having fun, if you're trying to be too quiet, if you're trying to be this, or you've got so many like rules around you that you're not having any fun, you're doing it wrong. Like, some of my funnest times was knocking birds out of the tree because me and my buddy ended up gotten to laughing too much, talking about stuff, and birds got way out of range. Now we're having to stalk them because we were just having fun. Like, that would be my number one tip, is like you said earlier, if you ain't having fun, pick another sport, pick another animal, chase it down, and enjoy it. I mean, at the end of the day, if you get it, it's good eating. So just have fun.
That was my biggest saying when I was duck hunting, would be like, wow, man, those were ducks. We did miss those. Yeah, 100%.
Your biggest saying when you're turkey hunting is, that's not a whitetail.
No, my biggest thing when I'm turkey hunting is you see more deer than you ever see when you're deer hunting. And then when you're deer hunting, you see like 4,000 turkeys and you're like, get out of here.
And, dude, they freaking know, man. I don't know how. It's like they congregate. They're like having church on the side of the road when it ain't turkey season.
Yep. That's how it goes, man.
So annoying.
Rhett, where can they find you at, my friend?
RhettWalker.com, man. Instagram, Rhett Walker, Facebook, all things. I run all my socials. The label tried to run it at first. It was the most boring thing ever. So I run it. If you message me like you did, Dylan, like, it's me talking back. So come hang out, come find it. And Dylan, Nick, we got to get out there and bow hunt some turkeys. And I'll come out there and hunt some whitetail too.
You've got an open invite, man.
I love it.
Anytime you want to come on.
I would love it, man. We got some bow fishing, everything to do. And I'll come on a weekend, so I can come to church on Sunday with y'all.
Coyote hunting, hog hunting. We can do everything. Give us 4 days, dude. We'll kill like 476 animals.
I was hoping for 477, but 476 would be fine.
I'm all about net poundage of meat. Like, how many pounds of meat can we put down? So I'm being serious. You can beat a hogs in about an hour. You spend a day doing that, you can come home with 400 pounds of meat. We can be in turkeys in 10 minutes. I mean, we can be in coyotes in 5, which, you got to be a really good cook to make those well. But, yeah, I mean, dude, there's a lot of stuff we can kill this spring. So bow fishing, absolutely. We've got a buddy who professionally guides for bow fishing. So, we can do it, man, for sure.
Ooh, that'd be fun.
I'm an arrow junkie. I can't help it. I love building arrows. It's my passion. I can remember growing up, my dad, for him, it was sitting there sharpening knives. He loved to do that. For me, it's building arrows. It's sharpening broadheads. It's fletching arrows. It's playing with arrow weights and FOCs and all that good stuff. I love going out in my bow shop and messing with arrows. A good friend of mine, Dan, he started a company called Arrow Junkie. First off, what caught my attention was the incredible looking apparel. If you don't like Sasquatch carrying a bow, dragging a deer, there's something wrong with you. But as an arrow junkie, he sells me all the equipment that I need to build my own arrows, from arrow saws, arrow squares, arrow jigs, everything that I need to build my own arrows. He's got all the fletchings, all the wraps, all the glues, everything, broadheads, fill tips, inserts, outserts, everything you need to build your own arrow. Also, he puts out some really good information on how to build your own arrows. Guys, it doesn't have to be difficult, and it really doesn't even have to be that expensive. You can build an entire arrow building kit for $400 or so. And then all of a sudden, you can build the best arrows that you can possibly have because you're building them yourself. You know them. You're putting the time and effort into them. So, guys, I would highly encourage you to check out Arrow Junkie for all your arrow building needs. He's phenomenal. They're phenomenal. Go check it out.
All right, guys.
Rhett. Well, thank you so much for coming on, my friend. Guys, thank you for listening. Turkey season is coming up quickly, so get out there and enjoy it. If you are headed to the Pope and Young convention, stop by the Bear Archery booth. We look forward to seeing you. Look forward to hanging out with you. If you haven't shot the new bows, they'll all be there. You can shoot them and have a great week.